Is this the beginning of the end of BTS golden friendship? Why do Jimin and Taehyung seem to drift apart as Jungkook dances wholeheartedly for J-Hope? Is there an unhealed wound between them? Or could the Mona Lisa hold more than just a dance? World Army shaken. Mona Lisa, a fractured friendship. Jungkook dances alone as Taehyung and Jimin move away. Differing views on loyalty now divide them. No one is ready. Not even one of the millions of pairs of eyes that stared at their screens that night, expecting to witness a snippet of a moment that is now hotly debated around the world. Have we just witnessed moments where the most iconic friendships in K-pop history are slowly stretching or even starting to crack? Jungkook, with his heart-melting smile, stepped to the center of the stage and began dancing to the rhythm of Mona Lisa, J-Hope's latest song full of passion and symbolism. But it is precisely in the middle of the dance that is filled with respect, love, and loyalty. Two figures who are usually always a reflection of his spirit, Taehyung and Jimin, are seen shut up. It's not moving. It doesn't even show gestures that could be interpreted as support. Why? What exactly happened? Is this just a coincidence too perfect to ignore? Or are we actually seeing an unspoken signal of a long-standing tension? Jungkook, all this time known as the Golden Magne, not only because of his ability, but also because of the warmth of his heart. He is a figure who never hesitates to show his love and loyalty to his Hyung, especially J-Hope, whom he once called an inspiration as well as a guardian of direction in his life. So when she danced to Mona Lisa, not as a mere choreography, but as a form of homage, the reactions of the other members were in the spotlight, and that's exactly where the storm begins. The now viral video is less than a minute long. But the impact felt like a shock of magnitude 10 on the Richter scale in the hearts of the army. In the video, Jungkook is seen enjoying every second of the dance. Her movements are harmonious, dedicated, as if she wants to show the world that J-Hope is not only her partner, but also an irreplaceable part of her life. But right behind him stood Jimin and Taehyung. Both are not smiling. No shaking of the shoulders. Showed no signs of enthusiasm. As if they were physically present, yet not emotionally involved. There is a void there that is too palpable to ignore. Are they disappointed? Is there something going on behind the scenes? Or is this just an ordinary, cold moment that is too quickly summed up as signs of a fractured relationship? Those questions continue to buzz through the minds of anyone who watches the video. Moreover, several soldiers who were present directly at the venue had caught Taehyung's expression called different. Some say his eyes are glazed. Some say he's just tired. But really, what makes this moment even more emotionally draining is the long history between the three. Jungkook, Jimin, and Taehyung aren't just coworkers. They are brothers. They grew up together. From innocent kids sharing cramped dorm rooms to global icons with millions of fans from different parts of the world. They once cried with each other, hugged each other, covered each other with tears when one of them was injured on stage. Why does it feel like there's an invisible wall between them? Some fans suspect that this is related to the difference in views on loyalty. It's no secret that every BTS member has their own way of showing affection and respect. But what if unconsciously their ways start to collide? There's been speculation that Taehyung and Jimin felt J-Hope was too dominant in the group's recent dynamics. Some old clips show how they are sometimes cut off while talking by comments from J-Hope, albeit in a joking tone. But is joking always acceptable with a smile? Is it possible that the old joke has now turned into an invisible wound? Or could it be that what actually happens is much more complex? Some fans theorize this tension was linked to the same time Jimin deleted several old posts related to Hope on the Street. Although never directly clarified, this gaffe is too glaring to be considered a coincidence. Moreover, some time ago, Taehyung was seen spending more time alone or with a circle of friends outside of BTS. But no one ever thought that everything would look so real in one minute-long moment, and the question becomes more and more piercing. Is Jungkook aware that he is dancing by himself? Does he know that his two closest friends are standing quietly behind him, not dancing, not celebrating the victory of Sang-hyun, whom he loves so much? Was Jungkook's smile genuine that night? Or was he actually trying to hide something? After the incident, The hashtags hashtag protect Jungkook and hashtag where are Jimin and Taehyung immediately trended on various platforms. Some fans even made video compilations of moments in which their interactions seemed different than usual. A hug that wasn't as tight as it used to be. Laughter not so long ago. A shorter look. Are we just too sensitive? Or have we refused to see the truth for too long? Jungkook himself has not issued any statement. But as is often the case in the K-pop world, silence is the sharpest form of communication. It's the same with Jimin and Taehyung's silence when Mona Lisa plays. Not that they don't care. But it could be they're holding something back, something too complicated to explain just through the lens of a camera. Even more surprising, a few days after the incident, J-Hope indirectly alluded to the moment in his live. She said, "I feel like someone really understands what the song means, not just because of the choreography, but because their heart is dancing." The statement left the ARMY wondering, what is Jungkook referring to? And if so, then what about the others? Does J-Hope feel the same way about the other members? Meanwhile, on a different occasion, Taehyung only briefly answered one fan question about the Mona Lisa. "It wasn't my day." A short answer, but save a million interpretations. Is he hiding his anger? Sadness? Or is it just an old wound that has opened up again? The ARMY is now divided. Some continue to believe that this is just a momentary misunderstanding, that the bond between them is too strong to be broken just because of one dance. But others are beginning to question, could it be that we have been forcing them for too long to always look compact, without making room for their differences in emotions, opinions, and personal journeys? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. The Mona Lisa moment is not just an appearance. It is an unexpected portrait of unspoken feelings, like the Mona Lisa itself smiling, but we never know what the smile means, and now we ask, if Jimin and Taehyung really moved away, was it because of disappointment, or because they feel abandoned? If Jungkook was really alone that night, did he dance for J-Hope, or to hide his loneliness? And if the friendship cracks, who will first lend a hand to repair? Will we see tears? Or rather, shut up, because behind the camera's glare, the grand stage, and the heady beat of the song, they remain human, that can feel hurt, which can be misunderstood, which can be disappointed, but also, who can forgive each other if they want? Because the truth is, for many people, BTS is not just a music group. They are home. They are mirrors of hope and wounds united by a force called friendship. So, when the house began to tremble, when its foundations which had seemed immovable so far began to crack with unusual coldness, it was natural for the world to feel shaken. Jungkook isn't just dancing. He speaks through movement. It conveys something that cannot be said in words. But is everyone listening? Or was he dancing alone in an empty room? And Jimin? Oh, Jimin, the figure known as the binder in their relationship, which is always there to connect a wounded heart, is now precisely an enigma in itself. In the viral clip, his face is flat. Not flat from fatigue, but like being decided to hold back. Not swaying, not smiling, not showing that he was involved. Is he disappointed that Jungkook stood up for J-Hope first? Or does he feel trapped between two choices? Loyalty to an old friendship, or a new reality that is no longer the same? Because if we recall his statements in the past, Jimin once said, "I will always be with them, no matter what happens." But now, when whatever it is finally happened, does the promise hold? Meanwhile, Taehyung? V with a million mysteries. He is always good at hiding his feelings behind laughter. He can cry in silence. She can sing about love and hide the hurt in her voice. In the video, his expression is the most difficult to explain. Some thought he was just uncomfortable in the spotlight. But is it true? Wasn't Taehyung always a free soul who enjoyed the stage like a canvas for his emotions? But that night, it seemed cold, hollow. Even for a moment, he seemed to stare at Jungkook, then avert his eyes. A small gesture highlighted millions of pairs of eyes, and none could dismiss that there was something unusual. That a longing look? Disappointment? Or a sense of loss towards someone he once considered a brother of the soul, because their history is not just an Instagram portrait. They were sheets of memories written with tears, laughter, and hugs. If it starts to fade, then it's not just them who lose. Neither do we. There was one moment after the video went viral that made it all the more emotional. As Jungkook left the stage, he looked down and smiled. But that smile not full. Not as usual. Many said he tried to keep the atmosphere calm. But ARMY, who had known him for years, knew that a smile wasn't about being happy. It was a great effort not to collapse. To stand still. But the world doesn't stop spinning just because three figures stop smiling together. It is precisely in the midst of the ice that slips slowly between them that the world moves faster and harder. Comments keep popping up. Reaction videos flooded YouTube. The international fanbase began to create a long thread to analyze the micro-expressions on the faces of the three. And the deeper the public digs, the more painful the result will be. It didn't take long for the hashtags #Taehyung and Jimin drifted, #Jungkook left alone, and #Mona Lisa moment to become global trending topics. Armies from Korea, Japan, Indonesia, the Philippines, America, to France are united in one collective grief that can hardly be explained. Not only because the moment implies a split, but because they all know this change is not just about one night. This is the culmination of something that has been going on behind the scenes for a long time. An old recording that went viral. Some fans began to dig back into old videos, including a clip from 2022 when Jungkook is seen staring at Jimin and Taehyung as they both joke around without involving him. In the clip, he smiles a little but quickly heads down. No one noticed it before, but now it's all seen in a new light. Could it be when he starts to feel left out? On the other hand, the behind-the-scenes footage from the yet-to-come concert is also getting crowded again, especially when Taehyung says softly during rehearsal, "Sometimes it feels like we're not reading the same page anymore." At that time, his words were considered poetic. Now, it feels like a confession. And Jimin? He once said in an episode of BTS's Run, "I'm afraid of losing any of us. Because if one goes, it feels like the house is incomplete." But what hurts? Those words are no longer spoken with hope, but with great sadness. Confessions of staff members that fueled in an off-record interview. A longtime staffer who had worked with BTS mentioned that in recent months, there was an inexplicable emotional distance between the three. They're still friendly, still professional, but not as warm as they used to be. The staff also hinted that since the solo project got stronger, each member began to build my own world and subconsciously left together. This statement further reinforces the theory that it is not only differences in views that separate them, but also incompatible growth. Is BTS going through a phase called mature differently? And if so, then what about their promise to always be together? Emotional reaction from International FS on Twitter. An ARMY from Brazil wrote, "I watched Jungkook dance like he was calling his best friends, but no one came. My heart is broken." While on TikTok, a creator from Thailand cried while creating content about the moment with the caption, "They're not just idols. They're part of my healing. Seeing them apart hurts, more than words." From every part of the world comes the same sound: sadness, fear, and longing for those times when their laughter sounded in unison, not alternately. Signs of communication breakdown. Another evidence that makes this situation even more precarious is the absence of Jimin and Taehyung in Jungkook's latest live. Usually, one of them will appear in the comments, interrupt, or at least say hello. But this time, silence. None of them were visible, and Jungkook, with his eyes looking tired but still trying to smile, simply said, "I wanted to dance because I felt like it was what I had to do that night. I want to honor someone who has always been there for me." That's a beautiful line, but also a painful sentence. Because of its meaning, others may not exist, and without naming anyone, the whole world knows. What is meant is J-Hope. And the nothing are the two people who always used to be with him in every dance, every hug, every sweat. Why the Mona Lisa? Unanswered MOS. Many began to ask, why did this moment occur during the Mona Lisa? What is the meaning of that song that is so powerful that it can trigger a moment as intense as this? Some K-pop lyric analysts say that Mona Lisa is about a person who is always smiling but keeps secrets in silence. Is this song really Jungkook's reflection? Or is it a message from J-Hope to his own group? If that's the case, then perhaps the moment when Jungkook danced himself was not accidental. Perhaps that was the only way he could convey his heart's content. What happened exactly?